Hi, I'm Jason Glass, Kentucky's Commissioner of Education and Chief Learner. Thank you for asking me to speak at the Teaching Black History and Culture Workshop, and thank you to our teachers who are taking the time to participate in this important event. The Kentucky Board of Education, the Kentucky Department of Education, and I are supporters of and advocates for racial equity. Back in July, the board unanimously approved a resolution affirming its commitment to racial equity in Kentucky's public schools. It was an important step, but just the first one. In October, my first hire as commissioner was to bring Dr. Thomas Woods Tucker on staff as the department's and the state's first chief equity officer and the leader of the Office of Teaching and Learning. He's been instrumental in leading equity and inclusion in a scan to find out which districts already have an equity inclusion action plan and how KDE can help staff help support districts in creating a more inclusive learning environment. Kentucky schools should be safe havens where all students and staff, regardless of their race, color, religion, gender, sexual orientation, gender expression or identity, national origin or ability, where we all feel safe, respected, and welcomed. We need to have a common understanding of the importance of the contributions made by people of color, people who have been historically marginalized in the history of the United States. We must have further and deeper conversations about bias and how it can be hurting our coworkers, students, and their families. We must change the lens we use to look at the world before we can make meaningful changes that are just and will help all of Kentucky. I also believe that it is past time for Kentuckians to begin having critical conversations about racial trauma, implicit bias, regardless of the racial makeup in our schools, districts, or communities. I often hear questions about how a district can confront racial inequities if there are very few minorities in that community. Such events impact all of us, and we all must address their emotional and traumatic consequences if we are to serve all of the students in an equitable manner. These are conversations that need to happen across the Commonwealth, not just in Jefferson or Fayette County. At KDE, we're also working on ways to improve the diversity in the teacher workforce and find ways to keep more of the educators we already have. We'll be talking with the General Assembly this session about the Kentucky Academy for Equity in Teaching, sometimes referred to as the CATE program. Created in January 2019, CATE is a renewable loan forgiveness program designed to identify and prepare effective, experienced, and diverse public educators in the Commonwealth. It was not funded in the 2021 budget, but we're optimistic that it will be funded in this next budget. We know from research that effective teachers are among the most important in-school factors for student success. Programs like CATE are vital to both attracting and keeping a more diverse teacher workforce and to better serving our students of color. A diverse educator workforce can help improve student achievement and educational attainment, making this investment a critical priority. As educators, we're always looking for more ways to engage our students. One way we can get there is for students to see themselves in the curriculum. They need to have a voice in their own education, and they need to have educators that look like them and have experiences like theirs. Oftentimes when we confront challenges like this, challenges like systemic racism and inequities that are in our country, that have left a significant portion of our population behind, educators say they understand the problem, but they don't know what to do or where to get information. I see what you're doing here in this workshop with the Clark Foundation as being an answer to that problem. This is nothing that can be fixed overnight, but making sure that all of our students are receiving an equitable education is the right work, and it is just. This change, like all changes, will take time, and I hope that you'll join us in this difficult but necessary and important work that lies ahead. Thank you.